former FBI agent and senior lecturer at the University of New Haven. Thanks for being with us today, Ken.
Certainly glad to be with you again.
Boy, the temperature is turned up in Minneapolis today. Definitely different viewpoints on what unfolded on the street just hours ago. What do you know about the presence of ICE agents in the city and why they were there in the first place?
So ICE is present there to conduct ICE operations to round up illegal aliens within the state and within the country. And in this particular case, they were there conducting such operations when protesters showed up to try to interfere with their law enforcement operation. Because of the protesters that were there, the ICE operations was being hampered by the protesters. And so a vehicle in the area the driver was told to get out of her vehicle. She instead chose to drive around a vehicle ahead of her towards one of the ICE officers, who discharged his weapon because he felt threatened by the car. Vehicles can be weapons, and in this particular case, the officer was reacting to the threat against him.
And so as a former FBI agent, do you agree with the characterization that this was an act of self-defense by the ICE officer?
So whenever an incident like this happens, there is a review board that is brought in to examine all the evidence and make a determination of whether or not the agent or officer act was justified. So I'm not going to express an opinion one way or the other until all the facts are known. But it is going to be reviewed by a shooting review board and determine whether or not the officer was justified in firing his weapon.
And Ken, taking off your FBI hat just for a second, as somebody who's in the United States, certainly it's been a very controversial move, the deployment of ICE troops across the United States. How do you think this is going to impact that deployment and how they are received further?
So the president is fully committed to the idea of trying to remove the vast numbers of illegal aliens that came into our country during the last administration. A number of them that came across the border in the last 5 years are being identified and being removed. They've been focusing mainly on the criminal element, but they also, in the process, are also sweeping up others who are not criminals. But a large number of them are criminal elements and people, in many cases, that have been previously deported.
And today, in engaging with a protester, it turned violent. Ken Gray, former FBI agent and senior lecturer at University of New Haven, thank you for your time.
Thank you.